All right, Coach, team gets to get their season going again with right out of the chute at Vanderbilt, which is generally a pretty well-populated meet for our first competition. What are, as a staff, some of the things you're hoping to see out of the team with their first performance out of the break?
Yeah, I think we would love to see competitiveness. You know, we didn't have an earlier January meet this year. We decided to bypass last weekend just to get some training in. So the athletes have been on campus for about 10 days before this meet. And we get a chance to see what they're ready for. That might help our expectations a little bit going into the meet as well. But it's always a little bit tricky coming back over the break because they're gone from finals week through the holiday and into the first couple weeks of January. So it's not always the easiest thing for an athlete to go home and train and get the high caliber training that we need. So it gets us a chance to get together in January, get the training in, and then ultimately get out there and see what we are ready for. But yeah, you're right, Vanderbilt can offer some pretty high level competition, and so we get a chance to see right out the gates who's ready for that.
From that extended look of training over the past 10 days, what is this team ready for?
Well, we are ready to get out there and show that we are a stronger team. I think that's one of the things we're looking forward to the most as a coaching staff and as a program. I think the athletes have felt it. I think that they understand that we're not going to be one of those teams in the 10 to 6th range or 10 to 5th place range in the MAC this year with our women. We're very much stronger. I think we can expect more points from the distance crew this year. We can expect a few more points from the throws and on the field and the jumps and the sprints. So overall, I think when you look at what we're capable of putting together, I think that we're going to be a team that could fight for a top 4 finish, ideally a top 3 finish at the conference meet.
These last couple of days before the team heads out to Vanderbilt, are you seeing kind of that itch to finally get out there and put a meet together?
Yeah, you always get a mix in January. You get the athletes that are really excited to get out there and compete because they know they've done the work, they know that they're strong, and then you get some others that are nervous because they've been on their own, and so they don't have their teammates to gauge themselves against, and so they might be a little nervous, like, where am I? The freshmen are like that all the time because it's technically some of them, it's their first meet in uniform for Miami, and if we have sophomores that redshirted last year, it's their first meet in uniform, and so they get a little nervous. But I think overall, the general feeling is let's just get out there and compete. Let's get this season started.
All right, good luck this weekend, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Addison, team's back after a long break and finally kind of shaking the rust back off, heading over to Vanderbilt this weekend. What's been the general feel of practice with your unit since everybody's gotten back?
Everyone's just really excited to get back into it, see each other again, and we're all really excited for this weekend to see what we can do after the break.
It's been a long time since the team got their first reps of the indoor season over at Bowling Green. So what, if anything, does the team take from that, and what's been kind of the workout plan and progression that you've seen over the winter break when everyone's trying to really fine-tune their conditioning?
It's been a lot of lifting, and everyone's just been working on technique over breaks, as much throwing as you could get in at home, wherever you could throw, or if you could do turns, do whatever you could, and just keep lifting and keep progressing with that.
Early results from practice, everybody feeling pretty good as far as the marks that they're hitting at the moment?
I think everyone's feeling pretty good. We're all doing, I think, better than we expected coming back, and so I think we're all just really excited to see what we can do this weekend.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Hannah, another indoor season, well, I guess technically got underway right before break over at Bowling Green, but now kind of getting into the meat of the schedule and really getting into that day-to-day grind. What's been the overall takeaway from the first few practices since everyone's gotten back?
Definitely. So for a lot of us, I think the main thing was how consistent can we be these next couple weeks and for the first couple practices. So right now it's really about being fast, being strong, and just putting it all out there because for this weekend, it's really, what can we put out there? And I think that, whatever we do, it's important to be consistent at this stage because it is still early. But I do think that we should walk away from this meet feeling like we still put everything out there.
This meet at Vanderbilt usually is pretty well well attended with pretty deep fields. For a first meet out of the break, what does that do as far as kind of get the competitive juices flowing and hopefully give you some pretty good marks to start as a baseline for this season?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is a pretty important meet. The competition is definitely better than a lot of the other meets that we might be going to. And so while that might be a little nerve-wracking for some people, I do think that it's motivation to really get out there and show the coaches what we have. And I think for this being my final season, I really just want to put it all out there and know that I left the track doing everything that I could.
From your personal observations of your jumps unit, how have you kind of seen that progression, both yourself as one of the leaders of that and your fellow teammates?
As far as jumps go, I think right now it is a little stressful because I am the only jumper, but it's also exciting because I know that I do have a role as a leader on this team. But I think as far as the other events group go, everybody's really putting themselves out there, and everyone looks much faster and stronger than I've ever seen. And with the lifting that we've gotten to do this year, it's really been a great showcase of the work that we can put in and what the results can be that can come out of that. So I'm really excited to see how everyone does at this meet, for sure.
All right, good luck, Hannah.
Thanks.